Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Trish Redmond and I teach the Bankruptcy Clinic at the University of Miami. We are the only endowed clinic at the university. We were endowed with $1 billion by a former bankruptcy judge, Chief Judge A.J. Crystal. And so we have a name. Our name is the Eleanor R. Crystal and Judge A.J. Crystal Bankruptcy Pro Bono Assistance Clinic. And that means that students in the clinic, when they appear before court, have to figure out how to say all of that when they introduce themselves and say what clinic they're from. But that also means that when we go places, when we have expenses aren't passed on to the students. The students, we take care of expenses. The Bankruptcy Bar Association and the Bankruptcy Foundation also funds a lot of our expenses for the clinic. So if the students are invited to go to a bar dinner, then the foundation or the expenses from the endowment will pay for that. And so nobody grew up in life saying, gee, I want to take the bankruptcy clinic, because it's just not a kind of thing. But if you've taken bankruptcy and if you know anything about it, every single year, people come up to me and say, oh my God, this is interesting. I thought it was math. And it's not math, it's really problem solving. And doing that on a high level with fast-paced practice. In our clinic, we can handle many cases within a semester, and which gets me to the structure of the clinic. One is it can be fall only, it could be spring only, or it could be fall and spring. 3 credits each semester, and it's a graded clinic. Where do we get our cases? We get them 2 places. We get them from Put Something Back, which is the pro bono agency in Dade County. We also get them from every pro bono agency in the Southern District of Florida, but they funnel through Put Something Back. Those are Chapter 7 cases. A Chapter 7 is a liquidation where a debtor files bankruptcy, discharges their debts, and gets a fresh start. Chapter 13, where the debtor files a plan and proposes to pay back their creditors at least as much as they get in Chapter 7. And Chapter 11, in some cases, we just finished a case for a Chapter 11 debtor who managed to hold on to a piece of property in Homestead, pass it on to his heirs when he passed away. And so now the family has a piece of property that actually, because of what's happened to real estate in South Florida, has equity in it that they can sell or they can deal with. So we do all those kinds of cases. And when the court has a problem before any of our 7 judges, they send the case to us as a clinic. So right now, I got a call yesterday from Judge Mora in Palm Beach. She has a case where a debtor needs help trying to discharge a student loan, something that should be near and dear to everybody's heart that's going to law school. And so we have 6 students who are working with me, and we're putting together the case. We'll file the complaint, we'll prosecute it before Judge Mora. And we're in a really unique environment right now. The United States trustee, the United States attorney has come to the bankruptcy courts and said their position on discharging student loans has changed. They are now advocating that if you qualify and if you do certain things, and they've given us a sheet that says all the things we have to do, that we could qualify our clients for a discharge of their student loan, which is amazing. Because before, someone had a student loan, what would happen is that student loan might be deferred under a government program, but the person lived with that much debt against them. So if they went to buy a house, if they went to buy a car, if they went to do a lot of things, get insurance, all that debt was reflected on their financial statement. But if they get a discharge in bankruptcy, that's not so. So we have those cases. I suspect that in the next year, we'll be taking so many student loan cases and get to know and work with the United States attorney and work those issues out. So that gets students in court. So that's what I wanted to talk about next. Bankruptcy is about going to court. And so our students get in court that way by representing clients, but especially the ones set by the court, because it's a live case that needs to have a lawyer appear have a student and a lawyer appear for that particular client. Or, they get in court another way. During the pandemic, when everyone expected a tsunami of bankruptcy cases, there were virtually none. And so because there were no cases, I wanted to have the students have the experience of arguing before a court. So I went to our judges and said, would you be willing to take a case that you just decided that has really good issues in it and redecide it, let the students argue it before you? It won't be any work for the judge because the judge is already knows the case and already prepared for it. So last semester, 3 of our judges, all of our students got to argue in court in person before the judges. And it was a phenomenal experience for everybody. Everybody says that it was incredibly valuable to them. Some of the students had never contemplated arguing before a court, and some were less comfortable, some were more comfortable. But I can tell you, the first time you argue before a court, you're never comfortable. So that first time ought to happen while you're here, mentored, and doing cases that the judges want to help you with. When the judges send us cases, we're the good guys. We're the people that came in to help with what the judge wants done. So we have a really, really good track record of wins. I think we maybe lost 1 or 2 over the last 17 years, the other cases we win. So when students aren't just given cases and told to go to court, every student receives a mentor on every case. So during the year or during the semester, you may have 3 or 4 mentors. So you get to work with 3 or 4 attorneys who are prominent in the field. And so you get to learn from their experience and get to see different styles. So one attorney may do something one way and you say, hey, I like a piece of what that one does. And then I really feel comfortable with the way somebody else handles something else. So you can kind of put together your style. The goal is to get you ready to be a lawyer, to practice, and to feel as comfortable as possible. We also look at your written product to help you refine writing skills, to make sure that when you go to a firm and you start writing, your writing skills are going to be what they should be. So with all that, I think, I'd open it up for questions that anybody has. We have, an exciting team of people who are involved with the Bankruptcy Clinic. We have a legal coordinator who's paid for by the Bankruptcy Bar Foundation. We have actually 2 legal coordinators. I have a co-professor, Professor Jay, who's a part of Venable, the Miami office. And we have a lot of fun. If you come by our clinic ever, you'll hear us laughing because, we laugh about some of the situations that we have to handle and some of the clients who are actually just interesting, very interesting people. And so when you start representing people, those kinds of things come up. So I guess I'll open it up to any questions that anyone has.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you recommend taking the bankruptcy class first in the fall and then doing the spring clinic?
You can do them contemporaneously because the bankruptcy class is substantive and it goes through different areas of the law. The clinic, there's several people, maybe 4 in the clinic right now out of 10. And those have never had bankruptcy at all.
Okay.
And so they probably will take it next year after they took the clinic. But having been in the clinic, there's certain things that they know. And some of the stuff we do is really geared to Florida law because Florida exemptions apply and things like that. So it's not something that we necessarily handle in the other course.
Thank you. There's a question in the chat.
Is there? Yeah. Do you have any questions? People in cyberspace? No?
Not so far.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm around here a lot, and if you have any questions, I know I spent some time with Lauren last night. If you have any questions, just let me know. or stop by the clinic. We meet Monday nights at 7:30.
Somebody asked this question, how many times of the week are the students required to participate?
Oh, how many hours?
How many times of the week?
Oh, there's one class and it's either in the fall, it's on Tuesday. In the spring, it's on Monday nights. And it is that and plus 4 hours a week. There's 56 externship hours in the clinic. And so they represent the out of the class sessions. So those are times with mentors, preparing cases, preparing for court, going to court and things like that. Students also prepare a journal that includes all of their time that they put in the clinic.
So the clinic is 3 credits and then the bankruptcy class is
3 credits, right? So it's really 2 classroom credits. And then for the 1 credit, it equals 4 hours each week. Okay. Okay, we're done? Okay, awesome.
Thank you. Sounds great.